one way to grab somebody's attention. Okay, is this. We got to get to the point. So, when was America founded?
According to Milestones, 1776 to 7.
When did Christopher Columbus discover America?
October 12, 1492. According to Library of Congress, Columbus Day. Early in the morning of October 12, 1492, a sailor on board the Pinta sighted land, beginning a new era of Europe.
Alright, so we're going to say from 1200 to 1492. This is going to be America. This is land that we know as America. Europe will be over here. And whatever else. But we're just going to go with this for right now. Okay, so for 292 years, okay, they cut the trade route. So there was no maritime commerce at all. Let me explain this, because most people have this mind that they will not. This is beyond what they can even comprehend, even fathom. So I'm just trying to. I was sitting in there and I had all this in my head, and it's like I can't. It's frustrating. But a lot of us know about maritime law, maritime admiralty law. Maritime admiralty law.
According to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, admiralty law, also known as maritime law, is a distinct body of law that governs the legal rights and obligations of parties involved in maritime activities and commerce.
Which would be everything. It's the word Mari, has to do with water. And we all know what commerce is. And time has to do with Saturn. Because it does. This thing is, listen, real quick, the reason you're seeing all this disgusting, satanic, serious death, worship, cut your blood, drink it, like shows, that people are like, hey, that's just a show. Listen, we're in Aquarius. So for the first 1,000 years, Saturn rules Aquarius. Okay? And this is what nobody knows. So that's what I'm saying. They'll run. Well, you know how some people control a business? Hell, they could have a southeast, northeast region. They could have something to where there's 500 routes underneath them. People are like, or CEOs that's got 20,000 jobs, which ain't real anyways, but we're just throwing that out there to make your mind go, yeah, that's pretty good. They're really smart. Let me tell you what this entity that literally cut this land off for 292 years only to be rediscovered. You just don't know. The same way that fake CEO or fake whoever is so smart controls that for, we'll say, 20 years or 30, whatever, or they retire from it and have a huge banquet or some kind of huge event. It's like, yeah. Okay, well, every one of these is 2,160 years. And people don't know that. Well, they literally just controlled the last 2,160 years, just like a CEO would control those 20,000 jobs. So when you can get that into your thick head to the people against us, that they control time is literally what they do through their commerce. Okay, but listen, all right, I'm trying to. They know the average person is not. They don't have it in them to understand any of this. So we can just look stupid and crazy while they go run around with their Ahrimanic nature, malice, intellectual mind, which has nothing to do with the other side, and that's the trick. Why? But let's break this down. Okay, why would a group of individuals, not knowing what I know with the salts and everything, the people we see, the Rothschilds, and they're not real. They're just they were created to be there. Look, this thing it doesn't claim that it does anything. It always creates other shit. That's fucking gangster. But we've got to look at this. We're here. You know, some of y'all are like, man, I'm ready to hear something, deep. And I've talked about this before. But you've got to understand, we like going further. So we've got to pretend that we've got to go into demon mode. Like fucking satanic mind mode. Why are we going to cut off land? What are we doing? What the fuck did they do for 1,200 years before that? Because see, people will talk about, time has been changed. Listen, this doesn't. The one thing I can tell you that these fuckers do is it respects this. Because its power comes from this. Good or bad comes from it. And they've manipulated it. This thing has. But it has to respect it. That's why the World's Fairs and all these structures. See, they slowly got rid of they're getting rid of everything that they've used for over 2,000 years to control society. Because now this cult of Saturnian worship, which is blood worship, say it is fucking hardcore. Well, they're here. They don't need us anymore. But if we're aboard, we're at 1,200 now, even though it was fucking thought of before 1,200. But you're going to cut this land off. And I've said this. The structures listen, Atlantis is right here. Y'all know there's fucking pyramids and everything out there in the water. And they're trying to say, oh no, it's up there in Hyperborea. Listen, it's right fucking there. And then when all that shit went to hell, some shit happened, the races popped out of there. That knowledge came out of India. From Atlantis. What was left, that knowledge came out of India. And that shit, along with what was in India, and they still have shit there, the badass shit. But it's the same everywhere. And if we follow back to here, before all this shit, then we're getting into a different kind of human being. Okay? Ones that don't need measuring tapes, like I've said, because we're closer to separating from there. See, that's where people don't realize. Listen, everything up there has measurement. Sumerians and Babylonians, you're just taught everything's bad. Listen. Okay, there's people that talk about certain cultures were the first ones to bring down measurement, weight, height, depth, and all that. Bring it down from up there. But when you bring it down and literally put it into physical form, now the real evolution of the human being is being completed by God. And now you're going to have to earn the shit on your own. Does that make sense? So from that point on, because this knowledge that's under my feet right here was built not with any. That's what I'm saying. They don't want you to know that. Look, they fucking got to literally create everything new in the mind. and I've got to stay on this because I'm trying to get into like, this is fucking, to the average person, it's insane, stupid, but it's a goy mind. It's an Ahrimanic mind. They don't have nothing. All they've got is this. They've got 90,000 hours of this shit. They're so stupid they can't handle it. Beyond dumb. And we love them. So, and if we want to harvest as many souls as possible, then we've got to create a false Christianity. Alright? So what we're going to do is that we're going to put a wall. During this time frame right here, what we're going to do is put a wall. Not a real wall, but we're going to put a wall around Europe. It's a spiritual wall. What I mean by that is you've got a port right here. You've got a port right here. Okay? This is the land and this is the water. So as long as you control the ports, you control what comes in and out of that land. Okay? So for 292 years, there's a wall put up here. And the Vatican, which is your Saturnian spiritual leader in this age of Saturn, which is London, Babylon, London as being the baby of Babylon, but it's just like now. They create shit in order for it to collapse in the long run. And that's how nobody can see it because there's always a distraction. But this spiritual wall around Europe for latter part of 3 centuries. Okay, this false Christianity was being developed in here because a long time ago it was already voted on in a board meeting that this is what we're going to do. And now we ain't got time to go into everything else around it, but it's basically the same shit, conditioning. So you're creating this false deity, which would be Saturn, because America, our brothers in the south down here, the Mayans and everything was eradicated, and then Saturn, remember the color black, everything, just think about it, all the Catholic priests down there, that's Saturn. So, and listen, this is where it's like, I don't have the worldly intellectual education to make a perfect fucking presentation. My job is to give you pieces of it. But look, we've got to tie in this. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, they did not build what's under me. They didn't build it. Okay? This is what these people are good at. This is what they're good at. They're good at getting to the top of any culture. They don't care about anything else. And then all they do is change 2 or 3 fucking things, and then in 3 generations it's gone. And they planted them here after they fucking blew up. And listen, this was the last to go. This is what's fucked up. Like, they wasn't here that long at all. They were, like, literally just put here and then fucking ran off. But then in the history books, you'll get, it's not hard to go see it. But the people are like, hey, it's fucking crazy. We gotta have me, man. I'm already on. So, all this over in here was pretty much kept the same. And then what they did during that time, this is just a small portion of it. Everything west of where I'm at, because right here is Georgia. I'm right here, the tri-state area of Chattanooga, right there. This area around here, for some reason, it stayed like Egypt. They didn't do nothing with it yet. I don't know why. It's still blowing my mind. And it was like they literally flooded Chattanooga right after the Civil War. Yeah, fucking like 50 feet. I don't know what. It's something ludicrous. It's insane. Yeah, that's climate. Back then, that's funny how they just. Yeah, man. So, what they did was blew all that shit up, melted it and covered it up, and then planted them there. And then, of course, you know, New York, all that shit's built on top of structure. But, like, all this structure here literally had fucking gold everywhere. Gold's a conductor. It had every, like, probably trillions of fucking tons, literally. Not just here, everywhere. But they melted it. Because you got to create a gold rush. Well, it was already on the structure, so when you melt all of it, it's fucking destroyed and then covered up, and then they can go over there and dig with their little shovels and create a whole new humanity, which is garbage. You know. So they planted them there after they did some shit. And then, fuck, for 170 years, you're going to have generations of Indians growing into it. They'll never question that. And then we can go back before that and show you where they planted people. Fuck, from everywhere. Everywhere. It doesn't matter. You have no idea how fucking deep it is and how crazy that this fucking thing is on what it's doing. Because what it's doing with this, everything that we built down here, because we come from up there. And apparently it did too, because Satan got kicked out, you bastard. And so the same way we come down and built shit, mirror image of heaven and everything up there and made it gold and all that shit, is the same way Satan is going to come down and blow it up, melt it eventually. Because he's been working for a long time for that technology and got it and controls ages. And then now, what Satan's doing is the same way we came down and created it without any measurement at all, is the same way that this technology came from the other side is going to come down and eradicate all of it to where it never existed. And then literally how the wheel in the sky keeps on turning, well, it's literally we're going in reverse in time, so to speak. I know it's because I'm still, some people showed me some shit and they're having trouble and they were like, what do you think? And I was like, fuck. I was like, that's what they're doing. They're slowly, because the rock quarries we already know are not. They're just, that's a resource that'll never run out. It's everywhere. They covered it up. It's everywhere. So they'll never run out of it. So they're dismantling it slowly, piece by piece, as to it never existed. It doesn't fucking matter if there's even humans here. Let me tell you something. This thing will make sure that it fucking takes it all up and gets rid of it. But you got to understand, we're looking at least beyond 2,100 years, but 2,000 years of planning. This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is bigger than anything. This is bigger than what I can fucking even think of. But it's our brain has never been able to think outside of the program that it's been in. And this is bigger than anything, because when you get into this shit, you could say the Phoenicians, and then you get into the Columni family, and then the Medicinis, and then the Bolsheviks, and all this fucking shit. And those are just the surface. That's what I'm saying. That's just the surface. There's something beyond them that decides, creates, puts out there. It was only, and then these people don't even know about this land. So they're going to come here even though fucking there's, man, listen, look, music, vibration, synoptics, is that it? But I mean, it's real shit. Like, you know, you can do, you would have a guy sitting there doing literally mathematical equations with people that had instruments, crazy cool instruments made with elements and all kinds of stuff. Sort of like now, but on a bigger scale, but they would play them in unison in certain ways, and then it would lift technology made through the elements because of the magnetic field, and it's electric. And then it would move that shit over, and there was all kinds of shit. It's like around here, these places, dude, listen, it is fucked up. I can see what some of them was. They were like fucking portals to where our magnetic shit, because it's just magnets. It's all it is. And they had shit to where it never ran into each other because the magnets have force. As long as you know what the fuck you're doing with magnets, they'll always stay away from each other, even when you're messing with them moving around. You could have made shit with, they've got magnet paint now. Yeah, well, it could have been incorporated. But no, then they can't sell their fucking nails and hammers and all kinds of other shit. We gotta sell and break them. We gotta buy more and see commerce. And now I'm just getting stupid. You know, but I mean, this is fucking hard to look at. This is beyond hard to look at. It's hard to even talk about. You know, and I try to say it and speak about it in ways that's easier to try to understand. Because when you really fucking break this shit down, it takes forever. And they all know this. This entity knows we're not built to withstand day in and day out just looking at shit. And I'm getting there. And that's what's blowing their mind, because I'm getting closer to 50. And no shit, it's just, I feel like I'm fucking 20. Literally feel better now than I was 20. And I wasn't fucked up when I was 20. That was just the beginning stages, but I mean, I was solid. I was in shape. But now, And what I tell you, well, you know, if you have a bad thought, you might have a mental illness. And it's like, it's this. If you fucking take up for this, you got a mental illness. This is what we have to use, though. Passing through. We got to use this. So, you know, but at the same time, you need to think about it. How much bullshit comes out of that and into the brain. But, you know, and then, listen to this, and then after some shit happened, see, there's images here in the middle 1800s, and there's no fucking trees anywhere. Nowhere. It's because they just done it. They just fucking did it. And I'm thinking that they were deciding on to keep Egypt or here. And I think right at the last, I'm on y'all, ain't I? To the motherfuckers that's done this. I bet they're like, he is fucking right. Because I see it. I know it's fresh. To the goy eyes, it's not. But to these eyes, it is fucking fresh. That was the last minute shit, along with the flood. And you know, it just hit me. I didn't tie that together. It's like, they probably did it when it was flooded. The biggest ever. Yeah, they raised the street. That's what they said. And it's like, so where was the fucking, did they have trucks back then? That's a lot of dirt. Matt, I'm just trying to challenge your stupid mind. Come on, we're going to do nothing today. We're going to go do some more shit today and never exercise our brain. Yeah. And that's what they did. You know, this had to have been, because they even did it to Egypt. All they did was flooded Egypt. Here, though, they fucking destroyed it. Blew it up, melted it. There's literally rivers of concrete. Like, I can take you right to it. It'll blow your mind. Nobody knows where they are. People live right by it. Just like everywhere. I remember years ago first going there. It was one of my first places I went. And I was kind of like, it kind of looks like a fucking, like, water, melt, or dry, or solid. Like it was running wet. And I called one of my buddies and was like, hey, go up here with me. You know, and he did. He's the one that'll go. The others, it's like, but then again, the others can't even fucking get out because you got to walk up some, this is like pyramid steps. But it wasn't a pyramid, it was just steps, huge fucking steps. And then we got up so far and there was a platform that wasn't destroyed. And I need to go back. And it had 5 huge stone podiums. You know, and God knows what was in the middle, but dude, I was just sitting there and standing going, and by God, they don't want you. And of course, right below it's that's just no quarry, isn't it? It's funny how that's just no quarry. It's badass, but that's what they do. This thing has got to get rid of everything that we built. That's why it hates us so bad, is because we fucking built it, and it's got its AI, and so it doesn't need us anymore. And it used us the whole age of Pisces. That's fucked up, isn't it? Is to admit not only that you're an alcoholic and a demon, that we literally have fucking controlled you for over 2,000 years. Your mind, your thoughts, and all that. And now we literally control you from the other side. Yeah, because your soul has an impulse. It's a circuit, has a current. You know, and your current is connected to the technology, and our black magic is the technology. And so when you die, you don't know. We can see your soul. It's magnetic, and we harness it and then throw it in the lodges and imprison you in there and keep you in fucking prison. And then everything in your brain and all that shit comes out in front of you. You and Jesus sit there, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah. These motherfuckers are good. Love you.